Going live. Oh, hey there, you tickleable fucks. How we doing this evening? Nice to see ya all. Hope you're having a good night. Look who's here with me. It's not Justin. It's your boy, Seth. And he's hanging out with me tonight. As
You're
is
right,
tradition.
it's your boy.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis, hanging out with you tonight. And we are going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of good stuff to talk about. So it's going to be good. And we'll see. We'll see if we have any audio issues this time around. Anything's possible, gang. Anything is possible with the ship that I run here. So
whatever can happen will happen.
Goddamn right. But good news is, in the absence of Justin, we do have my soundboard.
All right, chill your tits.
So we got that going on, you know.
Yeah, I entered this video room to the sounds of a flushing cacophony.
Yeah, I was just testing out some different sound bites, and it was just a lot of flushing and farts. He was like, "Jesus Christ, what is this?"
I just figured it was how most guests get welcome to the show.
Alpaca says, "You don't look like the bossing say, lady. I've been lied to." I think that's what you came into.
Yeah, only maybe duplicated. In duplicate or triplicate.
Yeah.
I love how for some people, this is going to be their first chance to see me, even though 2 years ago they had a chance.
Yeah.
If they went to the back catalog, it's there.
It's there. It's totally there. They didn't know it, but here you are. You're back. You're back.
Yeah.
This isn't this isn't your first rodeo.
Isn't. No.
It's your second rodeo, which is the best.
Exactly. Second rodeo.
Which is the best rodeo.
And this time I even prepared a background too.
You fuck those squishmallows? I asked the same question. He was telling me what they were. I'm like, yeah, but can you fuck them? He's like, no.
Well, first off, they're not mine. All right, I had to borrow these.
Yeah. From his dad, who's busy trying to fuck him. Just classics. Don't worry, Zenny. We'll get to that. That is going to be... That's on the list of topics.
Zenny-centric episode this evening.
It's very true. It's going to happen.
This night, on a very special episode of Mind Gap Podcast.
On a very special episode of Mind Gap Podcast.
Surprise, motherfucker.
It's going down.
Mindcast Capcast. I don't know, man. It all fell apart.
Justin's lucky that I don't control the soundboard, because I'd say this much. Justin handles it way better than I do. He's very, he knows the right moments. For me, I'm just like, I don't know, we'll just do this right now because it makes sense, I
mean, he said it best when the fart soundboard first came out, which is he's a 37-year-old fart curator. And he curates.
See, I don't give a shit. I just do it,
Right. You just let him rip, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be soundboards or just farts in life,
Exactly.
You just let it go.
That's right. I make it happen.
Who gets punished?
Yeah. Because it's probably going to be your ears. The reverb just adds a whole level to that. Well, I think we're sounding good. I think we're looking good.
Right? Yeah.
I think maybe we can get this show on the road. What do you say? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go, gang. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug. And, Justin's not here this week. It's all right. He's moving to a new city and to a new state. As advertised in the previous episode, I have a very special guest joining me. You may know him as the Sultan of SEO. You may know him as the Titan of the Titwank. I know him as Seth Trammell. You also may know him as Slotty. So everyone, put your hands together for Slotty, a.k.a. Seth Trammell!
Thank you very much for that intro that will never, ever be duplicated in my lifetime.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Wow.
Yes. I'll have you know, I've been thinking about it for a couple of days to prep, to give you the proper introduction that you deserve, because you, sir, are a dear, dear friend, and a dear, dear friend to this podcast. For those of you who don't know, Seth has been a co-producer on this show for quite some time. Way back when. He's the reason why we got our shit together in a lot of ways. He's helped us be more organized. He's given us wonderful ideas. He's helped us get guests in the beginning.
I installed a shadow council of elders who secretly control things behind the scenes.
Yes. He has helped us out immensely, and it is an absolute pleasure to have you back on. Welcome back, Seth. I'm glad you're here.
It's an absolute pleasure to be back because the first time was such an unmitigated disaster. I needed a redo.
I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. I think it was episode 253. And I
don't remember. I think it was exactly.
I only know that because I looked it up today. I was like, when was the last time? I was like, Jesus, almost 100 episodes ago. Wow. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. It's been nearly 2 years. You caught me right at the beginning of my illustrious career in SEO, right off the heels of writing my very first blog post. Mm-hmm. The very first blog post that ever got published at 2easteighth.com, which, by the way,
check out that
merch.
Yeah.
And now, like I was telling you earlier, I'm a leader. I'm a leader of people. I'm a team leader. I'm, overseeing a site migration for a website that sells dildos that are covered in CBD. So, it's like life is full circle.
Is that to make it so that it feels better or you don't feel anything? Like I can't, as a guy who's never used CBD oil or dildos, for that matter. I should probably lead with the dildos, use the dildo or CBD. I'm confused by the application of this product. I get where it goes, but I don't understand the benefit of like, hey, it's coated in this.
Mine is not to wonder why. All right.
You're like, I don't ask questions.
Exactly.
I'm just here to put in the keywords so that you can find it and it gets to the top page of Google.
Take these URLs and put them over here. All right.
So that someone types in CBD or dildos, this is going to be the thing that pops up.
Right.
In your feed.
I don't need to know what your business model is.
Okay. Want to learn
your business
more?
Model goes.
This is what we're here for. It's for the ladies that need to be high to fuck me, says Wolf.
Okay.
Oh.
Cell phone. Those are rare.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, so happy to have you back here, man. This is great. And before we get into our absolutely cornucopia of topics for tonight, let's get through a little bit of housekeeping. So, first things first, Justin and I were guests on another podcast hosted by the wonderful Sydney Davis Jr. She is an old Second City friend of ours. We were in improv class with her, and we've done some stuff with her. She has her own podcast called I Swear This Really Happened, where she has guests on who tell stories. She's very much into storytelling, and Justin and I were guests, and the episode is available now anywhere you find your podcasts. On Spotify, it's on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. Justin tells a lovely story about how he attempted to steal a fire hydrant. Spoiler alert, his dad's a firefighter, but just whatever. You'll learn more about it. And I tell a story about a romantically aggressive woman who really hit on me hard when I was 18 years old in Disney World. So it was a really good time. Had fun time telling those stories. It's I Swear This Really Happened, Season 2, Episode 3, available now. Go check it out. Enjoy yourself and throw some support to that podcast as well. Secondly, speaking of supporting the podcast, if you'd like to support us and you've got some dough, some dinero, some, I don't know, cash on hand, and you feel like supporting us monetarily, please head over to patreon.com/mindgappodcast. Check us out there. We've got 2 tiers. There's a $1 tier. If you're just like, hey, I got $1, I'm willing to throw you $1 a month. Do that. We love it. There's also a $5 tier. You can check that out as well. We'd appreciate it. Also, if you want to head over to redbubble.com, type in Mind Gap Podcast, pick up some merch over there, get yourself something nice with our logo, spread the word. That's great. And maybe you're like, Doug, listen, I love you guys. I just don't have the cash on hand right now. Times are tough. I get it. Hit like, hit subscribe on YouTube. It costs you nothing, and it means the world to us. That support goes so far, and we'd really, really appreciate that. Also, rate and review on anywhere you're listening to this podcast. Just give it a 5-star rating if you feel so inclined. I don't want to tell you what to do, but if you feel like it deserves 5 stars, give it that rating. And if you feel extra inclined, write a little bit of review. It means the world. It helps us a lot. Helps us get. You're talking to the guy right here who could tell you how much it means. I mean, you get those ratings and shit. It adds up. On the
anything below 5, and you're honestly spitting in our faces. So.
Literally, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And speaking of supporting us, I have your quest for this week. If you would like to continue supporting this podcast and you want to do something a little bit extra, here is your quest for this week. Your quest is to go and pick out your favorite YouTube video, short, clip, episode, whatever it is. Go to our YouTube channel, find one of those videos, and just write a comment in the comment section. Help that algorithm pick it up. It's like there's some engagement happening here. So find something, just write a comment, something in there. That's your quest for this week. Find something on a YouTube page, and then, of course, write a comment. You got it. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Also, don't forget to check out our Discord server where you can meet people like Seth in Discord. We talk about him all the time. He's there.
I'm real.
He is. He's real. As well as folks like Wolf's Lore, Noah, Zinni, Tint, all the people we talk about. They're hanging out there in the Discord, and you can come hang out with them too. Just head to the link down in the description in our YouTube, in a video. Hit the link there. Come on over. Join the Discord family. We'd love it. And if you're listening to this and you'd like to check this out live in action as it's happening, head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MindGapPodcast. We live stream our podcast every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And I also host a video game stream every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central as well. I had a really great time last week with Seth, with Noah, and Alpaca as we played an oldie but a goodie, a game called Magicka 2. Boy, did we have fun playing that game. It was pure pandemonium. It was everything I thought it would be. And
healing rocks and all.
Oh, my God. It was amazing. It was so much fun. Just pure, absolute mayhem, and it was amazing. So check us out on our YouTube channel for our live streams and all that good stuff. Speaking of Patreon, I almost forgot. I want to shout out the folks that are supporting us right now. Wolf's Lore, thank you for your support. Tom McIntyre, a.k.a. Sirloin, thank you for your support. Richie Armour from the You Haven't Heard This Music podcast, thank you for the support. Zenny, thank you for your support. Slotty, of course, thank you for your support.
How do you think I got this guest spot?
You're so great. All you got to do is just pay $5 a month. And, of course, the almighty Crit, thank you for your support. You all are great. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us, especially as we've transitioned over from Twitch to YouTube. We love you all. Thank you for everything you do. All right. With that being said, we've got our housekeeping out of the way. Now it's time to talk about the thing that really matters. My daughter's birthday is a mere days away. 12 days as of recording this. Is that math check out?
Does that matter?
8 days.
Checks out.
Eight.
Oh,
no.
okay,
Nope. 10 days away. I could do math.
Because I've got a daughter whose birthday is in 12 days. So it's like, wait a minute. I didn't think we had that kind of synergy.
No. 10 days.
Okay.
In 10 days, my daughter has a birthday. And after having a discussion with you, Seth, and the mighty Noah, you both suggested a particular gift that you thought she would like.
Yes, go on.
Yes, Wolf, numbers are hard. I'm stupid. But you both said, you know what you should get her is you should get her Let's Go Eevee, the Pokemon game, for the Switch, because I have a Switch now. And I had this mix of, that sounds awesome, and also, what are we doing? Do we want to go down this road? Because a part of me knows she's going to love this game. She knows nothing about it. She's never even seen Pokemon. She has no idea what it is. But knowing how she is and what she's doing with like Animal Crossing and all sorts of stuff, I'm like, this probably seems like something she's going to like. So I bought it. It came to my house yesterday, and now I'm fucking terrified to hand this to her because Jill's 100% not going to have anything to do with this. So this is all going to be me.
Jill's
just like, this is not my thing. I don't care. Like, have fun. Just like when we watched Lord of the Rings.
Same opinion on Animal Crossing. Was she like a hard no, and then she warmed up to it?
Well, Jill, when I told her what it was, she watched, and she was very much, I was like, this will be something for the whole family. She's played Animal Crossing more than I have at this point, by a long shot. She's done I've essentially got started. She grabbed it and took off, and she does it all now. I'm like, that's cool. It works for me. And she and Nat will just hand off, and Natalie will go and dive for sea creatures and do all sorts of stuff. I love it. It's amazing. It's such a great thing. So, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, Jill has zero interest, and she's like, this is all you. So, have fun. I'm like, great. So,
you've got support, right? As you dive into the highest grossing IP on the planet, it's about time, Doug, is all I got to say. That you finally came around.
Yeah, I'm both a mix of excited, terrified, and sad. It's like a really nice, it's probably 34% sad. The other two are 33%. Numbers aren't that hard. See, Ezekiel says that numbers are not hard. Totally math is just a waste of time. Not unless you solve for X, my friend. You got to solve for X. That always helps you out. But I am just dreading the deep dive. We were in our production meeting last night, and even right before we got started on here, you started just spouting a bunch of nonsense, and I just got irrationally angry.
Right, the names seem to trigger you.
It's well, part of it, yeah, because there's
I brought these to decorate my background, for the occasion. Right?
If you're just listening, Slotty has some fuck pillows on his bed behind him, and they look really squishy, and they have smiles on them. So
this isn't false.
What are those called? What are they called, Seth? What are their names?
You've got Slowpoke and Piplup here behind me. The squishy plush, which these came into my life by way of Zinni, who is like a back alley Pokemon plush dealer that I've come to know. I just wake up one morning and there'll be DMs of check this out, yo man, I got the goods. And all of a sudden, it's plush and it's just straight crack for my two girls. Right, I got 9 and 3, almost 4, and it's just It's easy mode now for holidays, for gift giving, because they just go bananas over these things. So there's so many different pathways, Doug, to go down. The video games are your entryway, right?
Yeah.
These are going to open the door to an IP that stretches 20 some odd years, 26 movies, 1,000 episodes of an anime.
I'm not watching those. I won't do it.
All right, so here's the thing, Natalie might. And
I've watched Detective Pikachu. I've done that much.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch the anime, but you might want to let Natalie get into it. What I would say is, though, all right, so the very beginning ones, it's literally do you remember watching the very first episode of The Simpsons? And how the animation was all wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the voices were really wrong.
Yeah.
That's what's watching the first season, the Indigo League of Pokemon, it's pretty much that. It's so my oldest daughter refuses to go back to those.
Yeah.
It's just no, I need the new stuff. I need the fresh, the crisp animations.
Yeah.
And the voices that she's used to.
Yeah, right. Wolf says that the Slowpoke combines with the Shelder to become a Slowbro or maybe a Slowking.
It could, yes, with the royal crown.
I just hate that you guys know this. And I imagine this is what it's like, again, for me to talk to Jill about most of the things that I like, as I just sort of spit this stuff out, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. My favorite thing is when I'd be playing World of Warcraft, and she would just sarcastically come up and be like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm currently in Warsong Gulch. I'm playing Capture the Flag to try and earn my medals so I can get better gear. She's like, okay, but what are you doing right now? I'm like, well, I'm casting... She said, why are your hands blue? I'm casting a frost spell. Oh, okay. What's this? That's my mana. What's that? It's my health points. Your HP? Yeah, my HP. Oh, that guy's running away. Are you going to catch him? I can't. It's a druid. He just turned into a cheetah. And when he shift changed, I can't. He just, he removes the buffs that are on him, and he just kind of debuffs, and he can run away. She's like, oh, that's cool. And then she just walk away. I'm like, you're making fun of me. I know it. I know you are. And that's kind of how I feel when, I hear all these things, just a string of words thrown together. I'm like, I just get mad. I'm like, God, fuck this. I don't want to dedicate any more energy to this. You know what I mean?
So you're gonna have to dedicate at least a little, right?
I will.
So there's 151, I believe, that are going to be available for you in Let's Go Eevee, which is a remake of the original games, the ones that I grew up with when I was like 12. Only, it's got a fresh coat of paint on it, a little bit of gameplay changes. They added like some motion controls. It's a very nice entry for somebody into the world of Pokemon, right? You get to learn the first 150 who have like, against all odds, I think, just like persisted. Like some of them, one that you'll learn, you'll have to, Charizard. Guy, they throw this guy in every game. Seriously, it's like it's getting a little bit old at this point.
He's like kind of like a dragon, right? Dragon-looking dude,
right? Yeah, it looks like a dragon, and there's a whole typing in the game called Dragon type, but he isn't. He's probably the single most dragon-looking Pokemon in the entire universe, and yet is not a Dragon type. He is a Fire and Flying type.
Well, he does have wings. He does have fire, so...
Right. So it still makes sense, but the fact that there is a dragon type out there and he's not it, it's always been a little bit confusing.
I think I know that one. I think I know Squirtle.
Yeah.
And I know Snom for sure, thanks to Zenny.
So Snom is far later. Snom is all the way in the final generation that we're on right now. Which, if you're going to go to a game after this, I might recommend that.
No, let's just not talk about the future. Let's just talk about what's immediately in front of us.
Your future holds so many paths, and that's what's exciting, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different ways. So like I talked about, you got the movies, you got the anime, you got the trading cards, you got the plush figurines. There's so many different things. There's so many different pathways for this. I mean, there's a reason why it's like $90 billion worldwide or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they did this one right, and as you know. It's so easy to go down all these different slippery slopes. But what I will say, as somebody who has daughters who are part of other fandoms, this is one of probably the most wholesome fandoms that I've experienced. Like, there is so much potential here for toxicity, for weird behavior, and I've shockingly heard very little of it.
Well, that's good.
When you compare it to something like
My Little Pony.
My daughters are also into. Yes, exactly. They're both into that, and it's like, as a dad, it's like, okay, I'm happy that you guys love it, and I get why you do, but there's this whole other side of it that I feel I need to shield you from.
Yeah.
There's this whole thing, like, as you get older, you are going to have to drift away from it because you will be able to learn about that other side of it that simply shouldn't exist. Yet does. And so in Pokemon, I haven't really found that. Being a part of this, like, this is one I've been a part of for however many years, 20 some odd years. I'm sure that there are enclaves out there. Like,
without a doubt.
Like, we all know Rule 34 touches everything.
Of course.
But the very extremely toxic behavior that you get in those fandoms, it doesn't exist here. Roblox would be another one.
Boy, that's something I won't touch.
Never ever. Do yourself a favor. Like, this is a video game that, like, first off, there is no like multiplayer where you can really get in the chat and do dick other people over kind of. It's just like, do you want to trade with somebody else? Cool. You offer them this, they offer you that. You either trade or you don't. You go on your way.
Yeah.
You can battle each other, but there's no chance to be a real troll.
Yeah.
Roblox, I swear to God, I that is one of my greatest regrets. Is letting my daughter get into Roblox.
First of all, that game looks like absolute dog shit. It just looks so bad.
It's not even one game, right?
Yeah.
The reason it looks like dog shit is because it's like anybody can go and make a Roblox game and then try and monetize. Like, it's all just it's like just chasing microtransactions.
Yeah.
In a million different ways. And it's just completely filled with either toxic adults or toxic kids with their parents' credit cards.
Yeah.
Two of the worst groups of people you could ever encounter in an online community.
Yeah. It looks just the worst.
And so, it's like we did it as one of those, everybody at school has it. All my friends. And I'm being left out of the Roblox parties.
I'm not looking forward to that at all, where I'm going to be like, God damn it. Am I going to give in to my daughter's friends' peer pressure? Like, am I going to capitulate under that? If it's something like Roblox, I'll probably be like, can we find something cooler for your kid? Do your friends like Magica? Magica 2?
Well, let's not get into Magica because Magica, obviously, the original has
Not
no
that one. That one will
documented
crash.
problems
The
with
Magica
crashing,
2.
right?
They want to play that. Hell,
Right, stable.
bring them to Jackbox night. We'll make it a wholesome night where only wholesome
You know?
stuff can be said, you know?
Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Yes. Pummel Party? Yes. You know?
You know,
Stick fight?
Elementary School. What the dub?
Yeah. Rounds. You know, we'll find some fun stuff to do. Like, let's not do... Because I think that's what I'll try to do is I will try to find alternatives. And be like, if they're like, we
That's what
like
you have to
Monopoly, I'm like, let's find a better game than that. Let's find
So-
Settlers of Catan.
So that's the thing. It's like, all right, you can. One of your options now is you can just go deeper down the Pokemon rabbit hole,
Yes.
right? There's so many more games out there, and like right now, I think is probably it's one of the best times to be getting into the series because it really just is. They're doing so many cool things. The latest game that came out is they turned the genre not on its head, but they did some really nice quality of life things, and they really made they really changed how the general interaction is. And so like for people who have been like tried and true and been with the series for a while, you get something new and fresh. But then for people who are just getting into it, it's still gonna be pretty awesome too. So you can go deeper down that rabbit hole, or like you said, you can try and steer down another fandom or another type of electronic addiction. And so
Yeah, I'm okay with like stuffed animals and shit like that. I mean, she loves that stuff. I don't want to do trading cards. I don't want to do that. That sounds like a real nightmare.
now you've gotten into the stock market, right?
I have.
So Pokemon cards aren't that different from the stock market.
I'm not gonna entertain this.
They're like physical NFTs, right?
I really don't want to get into this. I really don't.
But
I hate deck
there's that
building.
bit
I
of
always have.
There's that bit of RNG involved, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the adults, obviously, who are in it, are trying to get like the rare card. They don't play the game. They just want to get the rare card that could be worth some money, like the Jake Pauls or of the world
Yeah.
who buy $3 million
G.I. Joe cards?
well Pokemon cards.
No, they turned out to be G.I. Joe cards.
Was that what it was?
Yep.
I didn't see. I saw that recently. Yeah, like he bought a big set and like it was fake. It was G.I. Joe cards.
Yep. Turns out they were G.I.
That's
Joe
incredible.
cards. Yep. So, well, money well spent, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, all right. Look, that guy got his thing back.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's right. Yeah. Each generation is its own self-contained season. Personally, all right. If you're going to start the anime, my personal recommendation, and others out there may disagree with me, is Sun and Moon. Currently available right now on Netflix.
God
First
damn it.
off, has the best for my money opening theme songs.
I was kind of hoping you'd be like, it's on Crunchyroll. I'd be like, don't have it. Oh, well.
No, my friend. Netflix wisely, they own the rights to the anime series in terms of like streaming. So like they slap their made by Netflix sticker
Yeah.
on it like they've done with so many other animes.
Sure.
But so yeah, you'll be able to find Pokemon on Netflix as
Yeah, she'll
going
find
forward about as far as we can see. But I do
Yeah.
recommend the Sun and Moon as a starting place. And then
it. Let me ask you, be honest with me. Be honest with me. As an adult watching these with your kid, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being absolutely unbearable, this is like some of the worst shit that you see on Netflix or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The stuff that the kids will just pull up. People like, what the fuck are you watching? There's that. To 10, where you're like, holy shit. This is like some Avatar: The Last Airbender stuff that's also fun for me too. Like, where would you rank it?
for me, like obviously you got to take this with a grain of salt because I've been a fan of the series for a long time. For me, it's like a solid 6. No, it's really like a 7 for me.
Okay.
Like I can really sit there and I can enjoy the episodes, right? I get what's going on, It is, I have seen so much worse, and on a regular
Okay.
basis, am subjected to so much worse.
Yeah.
That this one's quite all right.
Okay.
It's not like some of the the Cailloux of the world.
I don't know what that is.
So Caillou is, I think it's a Canadian kid show
Okay.
Like the
oh,
main protagonist.
Caillou. All right. I
Yeah.
thought you were like naming another Pokemon. I'm like, I don't know what those
No.
are. I don't know what class
No,
they
no,
are.
no.
I don't know what ball you have to enslave them in. I don't know how it works.
But yeah, it's not like that where you got like a whiny balding child who teaches bad lessons. Like this stuff, at least, like, you know, like the main lesson is like try hard and do your best and make friends with everybody. Like, you know, it's your general kids show stuff.
Yeah, because I remember there was like Ladybug or whatever her name is. I don't know if you're familiar with that show, but it's like
I've seen it. Miraculous.
Yeah. Oh, Miraculous
I've avoided
Ladybug.
it all this time.
So bad. Natalie
So
was
bad.
watching it. I was like, this is some dog shit television right here. Like, I cannot
Isn't
stand
it like
it.
French?
Yeah. I mean, it's based in Paris.
Originally?
I don't know if it was originally, but it's
Okay.
based in France, and it is just awful. Just so bad. And fortunately, I haven't watched it a whole lot. But whenever it's on, I was like, you got to turn this off. Like, this
So
is
for me,
not
it's like
okay.
The Barbie movies. on
Oh, yeah.
Netflix.
Natalie threw one of those on. I'm like,
Such
yeah, you
dog
got to
shit.
turn that off. Like, we're not watching that. Let's find something else.
And so like I have used the Pokemon series as like a, hey, instead of that, watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has been very much a swap for me.
As someone who's completely outside the Pokemon universe, I enjoyed Detective Pikachu. I thought it was fun.
It is.
Yeah, it was
It's a
enjoyable.
fun little movie, right?
Didn't know what most of the things were. I'm sure there was a lot of like, oh my god, look at that. It's a Pokemon I know. I'm like, I don't know what any of these things are. That one's a mime, apparently. That's cool, you know?
Mr. Mime is consistently one of the creepiest
He's a clown.
Pokemon, hands down. Well, he's
Yeah.
he's a mime. And
He's a
mimes
mime
are
clown.
creepy no matter what.
Yeah.
Like there's this whole subcurrent. Like, all right, so the main protagonist of Pokemon, and I feel like this has come up before, but the main protagonist is
Ash.
his mom. Yeah, Ash Ketchum. His mom, like, there is no dad in the scene, right? His mom just has a Mr. Mime who goes everywhere with her. Like, she dresses him up in human clothes.
All right, let's dig
It's
into
a
this. What's she doing?
real-
What's she doing with that mime?
Like, you know, look, the fan theories abound.
What are they? What are the top three? Lay them on me, Seth.
Well, I mean, most of them revolve around Professor Oak, his next door neighbor, and
Okay.
the world's preeminent, Pokemon expert, who takes his 10-year-old and says, "Hey, kid, travel the world. I'm gonna stay here and hang out with Ma. Okay, don't worry, I got her. Me and Mr. Mime,
That's cool.
we're gonna hang out with Mom. You go travel the world, go find all the little Pokemon. Okay."
Tint says Mr. Mime is collared and made to eat dog food.
Well, you know what? That's the thing. Like that, he may not be collared, but literally, like they all eat, like, most of them eat food out of like almost like a dog bowl,
Yeah, because they're animals.
right?
Yeah.
But he's a humanoid animal. It's
There you go.
her name is Wolf. Her name is Delilah Ketchum.
Say her name.
Say her name.
All right. Well, here's the thing, man. Like, again, a part of me is excited. He fucking cooks for us now. Here's the thing. A part of me is very excited because I think this will be a fun thing to go down with Natalie. I am not. I think I'm overwhelmed at the idea of just learning this world and learning everything that goes inside of it and knowing everything that you guys just seem to know. I mean, I don't know what you guys have vacated in your brains to make room for all this Pokemon knowledge, but I hope it's fucking worth it. And I'm afraid of having to do that. Like, all right, well, let's take this protocol that I use every day at work and just push that to the side so we can fill in what a diddly doos does, when he
So I
gets
can
to like
figure
level
out
3
if
after
a-
he fucks, Delilah Ketchum. I don't know.
Is a ghost type weak against psychic type, or is it weak against dark type?
Yeah, I don't
remember.
want to have to know that like the back of my hand, and I'm going to because I know how I am. I'm going to be like, all right, let's break out the table because I want Natalie to be successful. I'm like, all right, what do you got? What's that? What's it weak against? Here we go.
I literally did have at one point a laminated type chart that I
Nice.
gave to Josie.
Mhm.
But that was before the more recent games actually just went easy mode on you, and literally like they just like in the move description it just lets you know like yeah this one's gonna hit hard.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Trust me, like you got the right combo here. And no, it's right. I did forget MLA citation. That is the first thing that left, so that way I could learn the type chart.
Of course. When are you going to use MLA citation?
Right?
Unless you're fucking
Chicago
writing.
style.
right?
No.
You're not going to learn that. You're not going to use that shit unless you're writing stuff on the regular, and I don't do that. Hell no. I don't attribute shit. I plagiarize.
No footnotes here.
Hell no. Eat shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm out of college. I don't have to worry about plagiarism anymore.
So I think I'm excited. I'm nervous. And I'm looking forward to it. But still.
Let her take the wheel. All right?
I will.
She's gonna take you down the path, all right? And you're just going to be there with her.
Ronnie
That's
D.
going to be the fun
Oh,
part.
no, Ronnie D's like APA's better. I love how that we're getting this debate in there. I love it. Thank you, Ronnie D. It's like, hold on. Let me just throw my hat in the ring. APA, the superior
APA.
style for citations.
Listen, everybody. We're having a lot of citation talk today, all right? I want to get one thing clear.
I want to go with the APA. APA fucks, all right?
APA slaps.
So I think we can sum up how I feel about Pokemon in one very quick way.
Stuff is stupid, stuff is dumb. Doug hates stuff.
So for now,
You hate
I'll
it for
keep you
now.
posted.
Right. I am going to be waiting, especially too, because when at the point when she's going to want somebody to trade with, because there are certain Pokemon in that game you can only evolve through trading.
That's some horse shit. You know what? I'm going to take the game back. I don't want
Dude,
it.
no. These days it's kind of annoying. But like when I was growing up, and I was the only one who played in my entire friend group and in my entire school, and you had to have like a special cable, which nobody had to trade. Like I just had to live with knowing that these did evolve, and I would never get them.
It's like, back when I remember Game Boys, you could actually do multiplayer by connecting them, and I did that twice. I'm like, Tetris,
Like one person has a link cable in the in the entirety of my county in Ohio, and I didn't know that guy.
Yeah, right. I think I remember we were at the state wrestling tournament, and one of the cheerleaders had they had Game Boys and they had the link. I was like, oh fuck yeah, let's do some Tetris, baby! I got my shit handed to me.
Get your salad tossed by that girl at the wrestling tournament.
Yeah, man, she knew what was going on. Any thoughts on Legends? Is it Arceus? Arceus?
Yeah, I've got lots of thoughts.
Yeah, I've watched you guys play it. It seems
is.
pretty good from what I hear.
It flips the genre on its head, because instead of you walking into the tall grass and the Pokemon come and find you, you go into the tall grass and then you find them. You're now the
hunter. Revolutionary.
Nah, look. You go from hunted to hunter, and it's quite a bit of fun. It's got a really enjoyable play loop, and I'm maybe 60% of the way through that game, and I'm just in my classic fashion of RPGs, ignoring the main story and doing side quests.
Yeah,
and collecting items that I will never use because they're too valuable. To use.
Same. That's how
Max
I play.
Revive. Why would I ever use one?
I mean, there might be that one battle where you're gonna really need it, so don't use it.
Right? Exactly.
I'm the worst
I gotta
with
save that for the final battle. I gotta save all
worst.
38 of them, just in case.
Yeah, so I hear it's great. I know a lot of Pokemon people are really fucking liking it.
all them Pokemans.
All them Pokemon out there, just
Pokemon and women,
just grabbing them wild animals and just keeping them in their balls and just having them fight each other to the death.
And I will say, Arceus, I think, brings up a good point for me, which is don't get too invested in the lore, because it's pretty apparent that the people at Pokemon Company aren't.
Yeah,
they will retcon whatever they need to make the latest game mechanic work.
Let's face it, we're not in this for the story.
In a little bit,
Seth, we're not in this for the story. Admit it. We're in here to create a menagerie of wild creatures that we can show off at our leisure. That's what the core of this is.
As a treat.
No, there's no story with this game. It's just like there should be no story with Mortal Kombat. What are we here for? We're here to beat people up and create fatalities. We're not here to be like, what's going on with the tournament between the shadow world and the real world? Who gives a shit? We're here to fight,
Who was Goro's real father?
Right? It's like Magica 2. I don't care what the story is. Let's go fucking blow each other up and create arcane black holes. Like,
I need to know the etymology of their Swedish chef language.
Right? I don't care whether Vlad's a vampire or not. I just want to be like, hey, what are we fighting next? And am I going to survive a thunderbolt from Noah? Like,
Probably
I don't
not.
know.
No.
Is
It's healing
Alpaca
rocks.
going to blow us off the bridge? Probably, It's like,
He'll cackle.
yeah.
Like a madman about it.
And then he'll res you and then send you into the boss fight and then blame you for it.
I might know a thing about that.
Yeah, it happens. But Pokemon aside, there's other big news this week. And that other big news is we've had a lot of trailers. 2 in particular that came out. The first one being the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness trailer.
I
which
thought you
came
were
out.
going to say Sonic the Hedgehog.
God, why? I saw an article today. It's like Sega's doubling down, or Sony, whoever fucking runs that. They're making a third one and a Knuckles spinoff. I'm like, really?
Right?
Really?
Idris Elba as
I'm thrilled as Idris Elba. I think he's fantastic. I could care less about those films. I just do not care at all.
Say I was like, I won't say pleasantly surprised. I was just straight up surprised that I didn't hate the first one.
That's kind of what I've heard from most people. Were like, that's not as bad as you think. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. Was it Ben Schwartz as the voice?
Mm-hmm.
But it's so funny, the dichotomy. It's like the first one did so well. Like they were like, all right, who can we get for voices, right? Ben Schwartz. Like,
Yeah.
I find him hilarious. but
Chris
he's not
Pratt.
He's not like an A-list. Well, that's going to be all voices going forward.
Yeah, right.
All video game character voices in movies are going to be Chris Pratt. But
Mm-hmm.
then it's like, all right, we need to up it for this next one. Who can we get? Who screams video game character to you? Idris Elba.
Yeah. I love how he's like, hey, I'm not here to make this character sexy, but people are like, I want to fuck Knuckles,
He has that effect on women.
He does. He has that effect on men. I literally, for a YouTube ad, it was him doing booking.com, and I watched it because I'm like, he's very entertaining in this 30-second commercial. I'll watch it. I watched the whole fucking thing. I'm like, I like Idris Elba. This is pretty cool. He's just a cool dude, man. Like,
Somebody I'm very jealous of.
Whatever he's in, I'm like, I'll take a peek. I'll be like, all right, you got my attention. If Idris is in it, okay, all right, I'm listening. Fucking think he's a rad dude, man.
Wasn't that one then?
Well, because the thing too is like I have no connection to the Sonic games because I was a Super Nintendo guy growing up. I never had a Sega, so I played Sonic the Hedgehog a couple times, but I never had any attachment to it. So
Never. I mean, I split the gap. I was a Sega and a Super Nintendo guy.
Ah.
Though I will say, like, the Sega was not like, it was very clearly like a second tier. For me, it was, I played 2 Sonic games, I believe, and I know I had Jurassic Park.
See, my friend had a Sega, so I remember Jurassic Park because you could play as the raptor. I remember that.
Yes.
And then I did play Sonic 2 because Tails was in it, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep.
But that was like I never owned it. I was like, oh yeah, cool. I didn't have any attachment to it. I didn't,
I think Sega had the best Game Genie setup. Like you could stack that thing to the ceiling.
Yeah.
With all the different cartridges, and like you get the Jaguar and the Sega CD on there, and yeah, you could get that thing.
Yeah.
You could get that thing pretty high by the time, and get all your cheat codes in.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I have that stuff comes out. I'm like, it doesn't do anything for me. But Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Really, I love Doctor Strange. I think he's an unsung. I don't know. I take that back. Just for me, again, it's magic. I love a good wizard. I love a good magical
spellcaster.
A good spellcaster. I fucking love it. You give me an opportunity to play any sort of class in a game, and there's a magic type. I'm like, that's probably what I'm going to pick because I'm a fighter. I could hit shit. Who cares?
See, having played these games with you, that is a goddamn lie. Doug.
Yeah.
You always defer. You let other people,
I do,
play spellcasters, and
because
you play,
I care.
I'll be the healer.
Yeah.
I'll be the paladin. I'll be the meat shield because you're a nice guy.
Because I'm a supportive friend. Because I care about what you want to play.
Do this. I should let Doug be the
because I want to make sure
time.
you're having fun. And I want to make sure that we're also a well-balanced party. So I will happily be like, hey, do you want to play that? Great. Well, we both can't be wizards because we'll get our shit rocked. So I will play the tank. That's totally cool with me, Or I'll play the healer. That's totally cool with me.
And I'll do the classic Midwestern. Like, no, like, no, really, like, you can be a spellcaster this time. You're like, no, and then like
it's a Canadian standoff,
Right. You say no 3 times. I'm like, okay, cool then. All right, I'm spellcaster.
There we go. He's spellcaster. But
Yeah,
Doctor
you just have more
Strange
persistence there.
is so cool. Everything he does is really cool. And while I still haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home yet, which I will.
Here.
It's coming out
Nobody in chat spoil.
in March. You can buy it in March, and I will. I just haven't been able to get to the theater. It didn't feel safe at the time to go see it. So I'm hoping that come May, I'll be able to go see Doctor Strange in the theater. I don't think I'm going to take Natalie to see this. I think this one is kind of being billed as like horror-ish kind of movie. It might be a bit scary. So I think I might hold off and see it on my own first, and then be like, maybe I'll take her, maybe I won't.
I mean, Nat, you've let Nat watch pretty much all of them, right? Like all the way through Endgame?
Yes.
Have there been any where you were like, yeah, I don't know about this one? Well,
when she was younger, she got scared, but Thanos scared her in Infinity War. Like, because he basically was whooping everyone's ass wholesale, and she was like, she didn't really like that. She's gotten over that now. She's not that big of a deal. So
it's like, I know, like, my oldest, Josie, it was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. We would skip, I think we'd skip just the last two.
Yeah. She's watched up to 4. And we haven't really gone too far beyond that because I'm like, yeah, these start getting a little more complicated and intense, and I'm like, I don't think you're going to enjoy this.
They age up with
I'm like, we can wait. So, so we've watched.
But yeah,
I
it
think
became
the
a thing.
one.
Like, we had to literally like take the book away from her. It was like she would read it, but then she got nightmares.
Oh wow!
It's like no, it was just like, but I want to finish the series again. I'm like, I'm sorry, no, like we're not going to do the nightmare thing. Like,
yeah, no,
give me the book.
Yeah, right.
But now she's all good now. Now she can get through it all, movies and all. But it's like, all right. So, but with the Marvel ones, all right. So to this point, none of them really stopped you. So I'm interested. There's something in the trailer of this one that's got you.
Well, this one has been kind of billed as Marvel. It's kind of like how Winter Soldier was the political thriller sort of film with action, and Ant-Man's a heist movie, and this one's kind of being billed as like, this is kind of a horror film.
They're gonna do
And I think it's going to feature Nightmare, and I think there's going to be some pretty
Deadpool and
oh, fuck you. Fuck you and every other goddamn nerd out there who is just tirelessly poring over the trailer poster, looking at every shard of glass and zooming in times 1,000 to see some glimmer of something that you think is Deadpool and be like, that's Deadpool? I got a shout out to Noah, who posted a wonderful TikTok today in our Discord where a guy was just like going through the trailer, goes, that's Mephisto, that's totally Mephisto, that's devil horns, that's Mephisto, and he's just like he's like, that's Patrick Stewart, that's Mephisto. It's just like, it was hilarious. I appreciated it. It was so dumb. And this is the part of the fandom where I'm like, you guys need to fucking relax. Stop going through frame by frame and being like, who's that? What's this? What's going on? Just fucking wait. It'll be here May 6th. Chill your tits. All right?
But I think at this
All right,
point,
chill your tits.
Marvel has to look at like what happened with Spider-Man and all the speculation leading up to it, and how they controlled that narrative. Like they were the puppeteers with everybody, and it's like, oh, is Tobey Maguire going to be in it? Maybe. Oh no, he's not. And then look at how well that movie did.
Yeah.
Part of it, I think, was that build up, that like almost like edging the entire fan base for like half a year or more. Like I think they've hit on like their new marketing ploy, which is like let's see what we can get people to believe. Let's see what we can do. Plausible deniability.
The thing
let's
is,
build it into everything.
What they're doing with allegedly Patrick Stewart's voice, that's one thing. They're stirring the pot with that. That's intentional. Someone looking at a magnified shard of glass, which there are many on this poster, and being like, that looks like Deadpool. It's like, fuck you.
Well, I'm pretty
Stop
sure I
it.
saw the Captain Carter shield zoomed in on one of them.
Okay. I didn't look at it that hard because I don't fucking care. I will see the
intentionally
movie.
Sprinkling things in there.
Sure, but I hate how people are just they dive and they jump to conclusions, and guess what? That is going to be someone's expectation. First of all, everyone needs to stop expecting Deadpool to show up. Just quit. Everyone's like, what about Deadpool? Is he going to show up in this one? No, he's not. He won't be there. I mean, it's the multiverse. Who knows? There may be some sort of whatever. I mean, anything's possible in this, but you guys just fucking relax, man. Like, just take it easy. Like, I get so sick of that, because then that becomes the expectation. And then when those expectations are met, they're like, this movie sucks.
Is that the expectation, or is that like the social media expectation?
Deadpool should have been in it because what you could have done, and then there becomes this fan theory on a film they haven't even seen yet. That now Spider-Man No Way Home got a wonderful reception. People loved it. And I was terrified that movie was never going to meet expectations based on what everyone was theorizing. And thankfully, it was incredibly well received, and I can't wait to watch it. I hear it's great.
It stirred the pot just right.
Exactly. And that one, you can make, again, I haven't seen it, but I've had some stuff spoiled. You can make some logical leaps. If this, then this. Like, you can probably pull some stuff together based on what they put in the trailers. Like, I'm guessing.
So, question: do you think that because Wanda's in it, do we get a return of Ralph Boner?
God, I hope not.
What if Patrick Stewart's character is just a plant? I think I saw this on Twitter, and his name is Hugh G. Erection.
That would be a real dick move,
right? Like, yeah,
no
Patrick
pun
Stewart's
intended.
there, but yeah, he's just a random guy named he's a failed actor named Hugh G. Erection.
All right, or maybe it's fucking oh shit, who's the guy that plays Trevor?
Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, it's Ben Kingsley. I mean, there's some intriguing stuff in the trailer, right? You see the Ultron bots. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Who's locking him down? What's this all about? I love the fact that Mordo shows back up. I think he's an underrated character. I really like him a lot. There's a lot of great stuff that again, we're diving into the multiverse. Really, anything's possible. So I'm looking forward to it. Right. I mean, we're essentially making what if canon potentially at this point in time, which is really cool.
Right, like that's what it seems like. I mean, will we get to see Patton Oswalt's MODOK?
Maybe. Who knows?
That be fun?
Yeah. Anything's possible, but I think the movie looks great. Nerds,
I think it looks great, though. Yeah.
Take it easy. Just wait.
My thing is,
put your fucking, stop throwing in all your ingredients into this pot. All right, relax.
They're not hurting anyone but themselves.
I know. Well, they're just sharing that shit, and they're just creating it. Just take it easy. All right.
I think it's good fun. I love a good conspiracy. When I say, I mean a good conspiracy theory, right? Like one that doesn't result in harm to an entire nation or multiple nations.
9/11 was an inside job. That's what Slotty's saying. It's totally cool, guys. It's totally cool.
I like a good conspiracy theory. Like I saw Deadpool on a shard of glass in a movie poster, and he's going to be. He is going to be in the multiverse.
That's just a bad prediction. That's like someone's like the world's going to end in 2 months. It's like fuck off.
It's actually going to cross over with the DC EU, and we're going to get Batfleck.
There you go. Now we're going to make that happen. The other teaser that came out with the Super Bowl was the Rings of Power trailer for the new Lord of the Rings show, which has been teased about for years now. That's been in development. I think at one point this is the most expensive per episode.
I remember doing the research on that topic for the show.
Well, how much was it? How many millions?
I think it's like $25 million per episode.
I think that's what
sticks in my head.
I mean, and looking at the trailer, I was like, it looks like there's a lot of money put into this. I'm like, God damn. Like,
a lot of CGI.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, which I've been rewatching the series with my daughter for the first time, and she's really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to it just because my daughter and I found this YouTube channel called Nerd of the Rings where this guy does deep dives into a lot of the lore, about everything, and I've learned so much more about this massive world that Tolkien built where I was like, Jesus Christ, this is world building at its best, ? I mean, this guy has told a lot.
Probably not wrong.
And
the world he built has been like the world that like everybody else has pretty much used to build their world on top of.
Yeah. So I guess this takes place around the time of the forging of the Three Rings, around when Sauron maybe turns into Sauron, and there's a lot of stuff to cover there, which will be interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it looked cool. It was a very engaging trailer. I was like, cool.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I watched.
Maybe it's because I'm in the Lord of the Rings mood right now. I was like, oh, cool.
Maybe. I mean, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Like, like I told you last night, it's like I quit reading the Silmarillion twice.
Well, yeah, that's different though, because
I've read all the books.
I haven't,
like,
and I don't want to. I think the movies are fine.
Well, especially in the case of the Hobbit, right?
Yeah.
Like they kind of did that one dirty.
Well, the Hobbit, I take that with a giant grain of salt. Where I'm like, the third movie, not the best. I enjoy the first and the second. The third feels like they were struggling. Like they looked at this book and they go, we don't necessarily know how to chop this up, so we'll make it a 3. But I'm like, this doesn't feel like it needs to be 3. It feels, I don't know.
Like they get like a basically a disinterested Peter Jackson. Like there was an original director and then like he pulled out and they're like, hey Pete, what you doing?
Yeah.
You want to do us another Lord of the Rings? He's like, not really. Like, well, we backed up the Brinks truck. He's like, fucking fine. Let's do 3 of them.
Well, I just also know on that one, there was so much green screen that at one point, Ian McKellen was brought to tears on set because he's like, who am I acting with? I don't understand. Like, it was so, there's a shot of him just fully green screened everything, and he was just, I'm an actor. What am I supposed to act against? There's nothing here, and it melted him down, and it wasn't great.
That's what the trailer felt like to me, like a giant exercise, like in CGI and green screen. Like it has that same kind of feel.
Yeah.
So that's like maybe that's part of what the lens I'm viewing it through.
Sure.
Is like the disappointment of the Hobbit. Like, hey, let's revisit that. Let's do that. Only let's stretch it out.
And I'll say this much. I'm really getting tired of people that are like creating sequels and prequels way after the original run, the popular run was there, and they're like, you know what we need? We need this the Saints of Newark. Let's do the Sopranos prequel. It's like, why are we doing this now? Like, why? Just all of a sudden they're like, we should do a prequel or a sequel way after this movie's heyday. Okay.
You know what IP we haven't exploited in a while?
Mm-hmm.
That's generally what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was very anti Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm like, who gives a shit? I mean, this movie does not, as far as I'm concerned, does not need a sequel, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I happily will admit that. But for some of these things, I'm like, hey, man, Lord of the Rings, I mean, we're 20 years away from, Return of the King getting released. Like, what are we doing here? Like, is this really what we're trying to do? I could give a shit about the Game of Thrones fucking prequel. I don't give a shit about that. Who cares?
Yeah, unfortunately, like oh gosh, that IP has been through such hell.
Yeah, it's a real shame, man. I think I was telling Justin the other day, like, part of me wants to go back and rewatch the series up to season 6 because 1 through 6 is solid and everything after that is dog shit. But I know I'll just be sad. Because once I get to 6, I'll be like, oh, that's right.
This is where it should have ended.
And then this is where they took a massive dump on the rest of this fucking series. Like, you fucking dicks. Yeah. Like,
George R. R. Martin is out there, calling all the fans, internet, I think what was it, like internet babies or something. Like, never seen a dude more against his own fan base.
I mean, this is coming from someone who's never written anything. I've never seen a guy just not finish a book, just,
almost out of spite at this point, it feels like.
I mean,
like, I remember it was like 10 years ago now, it feels like, that I bought the last one. I was so excited to like finally be like caught up and like getting it, and then like, good, just another couple years and I'll have another one. And it's like, no. You're part of me thinks he's got the entire series finished, written, right, in the can, and he's just gonna die and like keep him under lock and key for another 20 years after his death, and then like have an order to like release him then. Well, with just like a giant middle finger on the cover, and that's just what it's like. This is the cover art. You have to do it. It's just my middle finger, and it says "fuck all you who."
It's so interesting because this guy has seen almost the rise and fall of his intellectual property in a short time frame, and a lot of it also due to the fact that he hasn't finished his story. Other people finished the story for him in a way, but I don't know, man. It's just, that's weird.
It is. It's a little bit bizarre how it all played out. Like I suppose he could have really guided that where he wanted it to, and he just kind of let HBO, well, what is it, Benioff and Weiss or whoever? I can't remember.
Never seen. I remember watching after each episode in season like 7 and 8, as those guys would talk about, what they were writing about. I was just like, hey, I've never seen someone just like suck their own dick in an interview like this before, just continuously just like, and so when we were in the writing room, man, it was really tough to talk about what's Daenerys really up to here. And then there's Jon Snow, and wouldn't you know it, he's fucking his aunt. 1 second. Like they were just, we would have thought they were creating the most important art in the world. I was like, eat shit, you guys. Eat shit. Oh, we got 2 East 8th weighing in here. Am I understanding correctly that 2 Marvel nerds are upset about not only the amount of CGI in the new Lord of the Rings, but also the amount of sequels happening? Listen, I didn't say anything about CGI in Lord of the Rings. That was Seth. I pointed the wrong way. That's Seth. I'm cool with it. No, I'm just saying I think it's interesting that we have sequels and prequels happening well after the heyday of the apex, I would argue, of some of these properties. It's just kind of like, well, okay. I mean, I guess. Hopefully people are still interested in it. Maybe not. It's risky. But,
I think it varies. I think it really just depends on the property, too. It's like some of them are a little bit timeless. Like Lord of the Rings is a little bit timeless, right?
It is. Still a little bit timeless.
It's not like horror movies. Like, it's like cheesy kind of. Now I'm just trying to take shots at Drew. But I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna say he doesn't have a point. I'd love to, but I'm not gonna. So anyway,
all right.
I was just not impressed with the trailer. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll see if it's worthwhile. And real quick, speaking of movies, did you all know that the Oscars is including a Twitter-voted category for fan favorite movie starting February 14th, which was yesterday, if as at the time of recording this. So now you can go online either to, I think it's the Who Gives a Shit's website.
Who Gives a Shit's website. Yeah.
You can go to OscarFanFavorite.com or you can tweet using the hashtag OscarsFanFavorite. You can vote up to 20 times per day for the film that you think deserves to be the fan favorite. And I have to say, I like the concept of this because I like the fact that there is a huge disconnect between critics, a bunch of old white men in the Academy, and the fans and the people that actually watch these films. And I know a part of the Oscars is like just the industry celebrating itself and blowing itself. But at the same time, it does feel like there's a little bit of snobbery, for the things that are in the cultural zeitgeist. Like any Marvel film, like most superhero stuff just gets completely like, meh. We're not even gonna give it the time of day.
These absolute snobs out there in chat.
Yeah, right. I think it's kind of cool. I don't like the execution of it, where you can vote 20 times per day.
Like this is gonna go badly.
I mean, like, I also don't know if it's you can pick any film. Is it right in? Is it because that will not end well for if the past has been any indication, this will go poorly. I expect a lot of Pornhub recommendations getting voted on for Oscars if that's the case. So I don't know. I'm sure it's got to be some.
Depends on how many are eligible. How many reach the feature
right
length?
Yeah.
Honestly, is it just going to be like who do the K-pop stans pick? Is like what's their favorite movie? Because like the last couple of years, it taught me anything. It's that there's an internet movement around K-pop, and if you either you either get in line or you get crushed underneath the foot of
That's
the
right.
K-pop fans.
That's right.
And so, like, if somebody mobilizes them for a particular movie, it's over. It's done. I don't care. Russian bots, Chinese, I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
The K-pop fans will have their way. They'll have their day.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, what does that fan base want to win Best Picture? Is it? Well, no, it's not Best Picture, right? It's its own category.
It's fan favorite movie. And also, who's to stop people from putting some joke in there? You know what I mean? Look at these reality shows where these contests have happened where people keep voting the worst person to stay because it's entertaining, you know, or the people that voted for Bodie McBoatface as the name of a boat. Like, it's
like the NBA All-Star game where, like, literally, like, people are voting for guys who haven't even played this year. It's like, fuck, why?
I mean, you're talking Space Jam 2 could be up there as a fan favorite, you know? Like, it's...
If that's eligible, then...
It came out this year.
That's what's going to be.
So
now we got Jared over there probably voting 20 times a day now just so Lola Bunny has a chance at winning an Oscar.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think it's cool. I like the idea of it, of them being like, hey, listen, you know, let's get the fans involved. I don't know the best way to do it.
I'll be curious to see what stuff. I don't like this one. No.
I don't know, man. I like the idea of some of these films getting recognition, because another thing too is, like, a lot of horror films, they don't get the time of day at the Oscars. Comedies don't get the time of day. They get completely overlooked. They're in some weird categories. So it'd be really cool if there was something that was a real standout that would be able to, you know, get at least some recognition, because people are like, hey, like, I hear the movie Malignant is great. I don't know, never seen it, but I hear it's great, you know, for horror stuff. If enough fans were like, yo, get this some recognition at the Oscars, I think it's pretty cool for that to happen. I don't necessarily agree with the process. I think that could be disastrous.
Well, and I think too, there's such an opportunity here for, like, the Academy, or for everybody just like, okay, and here's what the yokels voted on. Let's all run applause for the idiots, everybody. They picked this movie. Fuck them. We're still the Academy.
Well, here's the thing too. People are they're gonna ruin this for the future. You know it. People are gonna do a really bad job. Like, well, we tried, and you guys
this
fucking
is one chance. And of course, we're gonna ruin it.
This is why you can't have nice things. Like, we're not gonna do it. Alpaca says the internet historian did a great video on why you should never do an open poll ever. Yeah, I'm sure that has happened, and we've talked about it on this podcast.
You need to limit people. You need to have some options to choose from. If you leave it a fill in the blank, you are going to get what you deserve.
As an SEO guy, I understand. I think you could understand, like, why the benefit of being like, hey, use the hashtag and tweet. It's going to generate buzz, and there'll be some, you know, it makes sense. I get that, but I'm like, yeah, you heard me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are an aroused cat now.
Yes. And if anything, I'd also say that was a pretty practical approach to what we broke down, which leads us to...
Oh, goody.
You got the questions, we got the answers. All you do is ask. Practical, 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 practical. Ask Practical Doug.
Oh, yeah. It's that time again, y'all. And I'm in charge this time. If this is your first time checking this out, hey, welcome to Ask Practical Doug. Inside my brain, there is another Doug, and he is practical, and he dictates a lot of what I do. And this is a great segment for you to ask a question to Ask Practical Doug. If you'd like to do this, all you got to do is head over to our Discord, head to the Ask Practical Doug channel, drop in your question there, or hit us up on all of our social medias at MindGap Podcast. Ask your question, throw in the hashtag Ask Practical Doug, and perhaps Practical Doug may answer. You can also join us live on our live stream, and perhaps your question may be answered there too. We have a slew, and I think this is an appropriate one that we've been hanging on to.
Because I know that I have submitted a number of these. And
yeah, I mean, actually, from the ones that are left, you are 99% of them. But
I wonder why we haven't gotten to them yet.
Great question. Well, I like this one. I think this fits in with what we're talking about. And this is from you. And the question was, Mjolnir arrives in Middle-earth. Who is worthy to wield it? We have, from a selection of our Lord of the Rings characters. We've got Aragorn, Sam, Frodo, Legolas, Gimli, Éowyn, Treebeard, and Éomer. So, interesting, because Mjolnir can only be lifted and utilized by those who are worthy of the power of Thor. And it's not Gimli, so we'll just go ahead and cross him off. That's easy.
Correct.
No, definitely not him. Treebeard.
Legolas too.
Treebeard. Legolas? I don't know. Is he worthy?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't know why exactly. It just doesn't feel right, though. I don't know why it doesn't feel right having an elf wield Mjolnir, but it doesn't.
Well, I think I understand that, right? Because they're so dainty yet dexterous. So for him to be wielding such a smashing weapon, it seems kind of weird.
Right. I feel like there's, like, I don't know, some kind of, like, inherent arrogance in the race.
Wow.
Of
Just going to be racist. Okay, let's get to it.
Yeah. Going right to it, yeah. I'm an elfist.
Well, if anything, he defied his father's wishes. His father was like, hey, we only give a shit about our own. And Legolas is like, I don't want to do that anymore. We got to care about the world.
I don't know, does killing for sport rule him out?
I mean, what? Killing orcs for sport?
Oh, they're living beings. Do they not count?
No, they're evil.
I think they just had bad fathers.
It's true.
Bad home lives.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I say Legolas could potentially be in the running. Potentially. Okay. Treebeard out. Treebeard.
No, that's just goofy.
Yeah, he's just weird. He's not wielding it. He doesn't give a shit. He's not worthy. I think Sam, totally.
Like, if strength is irrespective, like, if once you're deemed worthy, your strength, it doesn't matter. Like, Mjolnir's like, cool, I'm down with you. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Sam's an obvious choice.
I think, I don't know, I'm hesitant on Aragorn. It seems like an obvious one, but he didn't believe in himself. He didn't believe in it. He was it was almost like Captain America for the longest time, where he was almost hiding the truth, which was, he knew about Bucky killing, Stark's dad, and he hid it, and he just would, he's holding on to that for so long. And I feel like Aragorn's kind of the same way, where he was denying his future because he didn't believe in himself. He thought he was still susceptible to the weakness of his forefathers.
Right. So it's those very characteristics that mean, like, by the time the end of the third movie, yeah, of course he's wielding it.
By the end of the third movie, I guess, but I guess what time frame are we talking about,
Well, that's the same time that Cap, it's like, if we're looking at...
Yeah. I would say the majority of the time we know Aragorn, though, he's not worthy of it. And I think that counts for something.
At what point, then, does Sam become worthy? Is Sam worthy right off the bat? Or
Sam is loyal and is from the... Yeah. I mean, he's willing to drown to go with Frodo to Mordor. Like, the guy just cares so much for Frodo and is willing to help him on his journey. I think, yeah, through and through.
The word go, like, he wields it from day one.
Day one, he's told, like, Gandalf's like, don't you lose him, Samwise Gamgee, don't you do it,
I feel like he has some growth.
He does, but I think
that makes him worthy. I guess for me, I don't think that he's immediately there.
I think he's pretty close. I think he's closer than Aragorn. That's for sure. I mean, he, if anything, he is able to wear the ring for a little bit. I mean, he picks it up after Frodo gets she-lobed, and
that thing, like, that's like anybody can get up inside that ring, right? That's like cool, like,
yeah, but he was also
put me on.
He was able to do it and not get corrupted immediately.
Not immediately.
So, which unlike most of those, shit fuckers in that world who immediately get corrupted. Right. So I thought you say he's a strong candidate. Frodo, I don't know. Like, Frodo is weird to me because I give him credit because he is a hero and brave in the sense that he volunteers to be the ring bearer of this terrible burden, and he goes for it. But I don't know. He just doesn't. There's something lacking in him.
he bears it for so long.
Yeah.
The most corrupting force
Yeah.
in that universe. He bears that for so long, and at the end, still gets to say he wasn't totally correct. Like he still gets to come back from the
That is pretty impressive, right? I mean, that is quite the burden. Yeah, it's hard to argue against that. His
Right.
constitution and wisdom is strong. He rolled high on those.
But he kind of proves himself by the end of that. I think he gets the bad rap because you get to see all the worst traits come out in him as a result of that. But it's like only because he's there bearing that burden.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just say Éomer. No. I mean, he's played by Carl Urban. I think he's great, but he is also he makes fun of halflings. You know, he's very agitated. Not to say that Thor isn't, but he doesn't seem worthy enough to wield that power.
As far as that universe goes, I feel like there's one human that gets the nod, and it's Aragorn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's room for another human to be worthy of Mjolnir.
Éowyn's close, but she's so obsessed with fighting and proving herself, which I understand, right? She's basically like, this is your place, stay in it, don't leave it. She's like, but I can fight. Like, yeah, but you're a lady. You don't got the bits between the legs, therefore you got to stay behind. You know, and I mean,
swords don't work without them.
Right, and I mean, she's able to defeat the Witch King of Angmar, you know, because no mortal man can harm him, and I am no man. So she definitely has courage and battle prowess, but I feel like her ultimate desire to prove herself does not make her worthy of Mjolnir, in my mind.
Yeah, I just her character isn't developed enough for us, I think, to know ultimately if she would be worthy enough.
Yeah,
but maybe she's a Jane Foster.
Yeah, could be. I mean, yeah.
We played out a couple extra years. Yeah, maybe. But
all right, so I'm got.
Curious though, why isn't Gandalf on that list? Would Gandalf the Grey, Gandalf the White?
That's a great question. My gut's telling me no, and I don't know why. Because I mean, he is out to protect Middle Earth, right? He's a guide. He's a confidant. He's there to help. You know. Noah goes, Gandalf is dead. I mean, he wields he actually does have a ring of power.
Right.
I mean, which is, saying something.
He knows better than to dick around with the One Ring.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because he knows that there's that part of him that isn't able to handle it, that he's also not.
Right, because he's like, don't give me the ring. He's like, I would want to do good, but, it would not go well.
I would monkey's paw that shit.
Well, it's not part of this equation, so I'm not going to consider it. So,
fine.
So we're down to Aragorn, Sam, Frodo, and Legolas. If we have to pick one.
You have to pick one?
I'm going to let Legolas go. I think all four of these would be worthy. But who is the most worthy of these four?
I think the fan favorite has to be Sam.
It's got to be Sam, right? It's got Aragorn again. By the end of his journey, he could wield it for sure, right? Because hell, he wields that new sword at the end of it. He was, so reluctant all the whole time. He's like, no.
He gets a whole, he's got an entire army of the dead that he gets to command for.
Exactly. I feel like because I'm doing it kind of like time frame, like how much of the time that we see them would they be worthy to do it? So I don't think it's gonna be Aragorn.
So we're down to the halflings.
Yeah, because Legolas could, but again, there's something about it where I'm like, I don't know. He almost seems too perfect all the time.
And that's the elves' whole vibe, right?
Yeah,
it's like that little bit of arrogance in their perfection.
Yeah. Now, someone made a point in the chat too that Thor is pretty arrogant as well. So Tint, I believe, said that.
Extremely true.
Yeah. So.
If we're using Thor as the benchmark, then I think that opens up to a few extra people almost.
Yeah.
which you kind of have to. But
Yeah.
maybe we've set the bar too high. But if it is just one, if one is the most worthy, then yeah, I go Sam.
I think it's got to be Sam. I think he's just the guy who I think so much. I think Frodo.
Rudy.
That's right. That's right. I think Frodo is probably the most impressive of all of these, but I don't know. Again, I can't put this in the words. It's like, what is a sport? Like, I can't define it. It's just, it feels like.
What is a Mjolnir wielder?
Yeah, I feel like it would come to Sam, and Sam would just like pick it up, and he would. It's also like
he would go and mash some taters. Is what he would do with that motherfucker.
He'd mash those potatoes, you know? Yeah, it's got to be Sam. I'm going to say it. It's Sam. Sam is the wielder of Mjolnir in Middle-earth. It is done. It is decided. Ta-da. So we know, now that that's wrapped up, we know what time it is.
Welcome to the Throwdown.
Oh, yeah. It's that time again for the Throwdown. I haven't looked
Some
yet.
hasty typing going on.
Seth is laughing. So this is the part of the show where we
Not that
take
easy, is it?
two things and we put them in a hypothetical ring where they have to fight to the death. And our very own Council of Elders, which, by the way, Slotty/Seth is a part of, but Seth has remained out of this week's discussion. So this will be a surprise to all of us right now.
Is he finished typing yet?
Oh my God, what is this? Oh,
Is this
are these Pokemon?
One is. The other... Okay, the other one is others from Legend of Zelda.
All right.
All right, Doug, I think as part of your education, you should take the Pokemon, if he can get that link in there.
I was going to...
Yep.
Blaziken?
Okay, take your time. Take your time. Blaziken.
Blaziken?
Blaziken, I think, is probably the best.
All right, so this week's throwdown is Blaziken versus Giant Cucko versus a Giant Cuck.
That is...
It's a Pokemon versus a Giant Cuck.
Get cucked.
Get cucked. Is it Kuko?
Yeah, I think Kuko or...
Is it a
I
Giant
never
Chook?
pronounce this stuff. Giant Chook. It is a Giant Chook. Of
Okay.
monumental proportions.
All right, well, I will take Blaziken, which I know nothing about. So here we go. What are you? So this is a Pokemon. Its gender is male or female. I like that. Non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
So superhuman physical characteristics, fire manipulation. It can bulk up its stats. Martial arts. Does that check out, Seth? Does this thing know martial arts? All
It's a
right.
fighting type.
All right. Power, mimicry, sound manipulation, statistics reduction. This is a math nerd, huh? Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
man, he can hit you with some debuffs.
All right. He can counter. He can heal. All right. So he's got a lot of shit going on here. All right. Okay. He's a multi-level block level plus. Jesus. Or a large town level. I fucking hate these so much. I don't know what that means.
Well, he can destroy an entire town.
Oh my God. I'm going to read this sentence just so you guys know what I have to go through every week. Attack potency, multi-city block level plus, or large town level, via scaling to Don's Piplup, who is comparable to second stage Pokemon. What fucking Greek is that? It continues. Large mountain level plus, comparable to fully evolved Pokemon such as Tyranitar. Island level. Stronger than pure/huge power Pokemon and Marowak holding a thick club. What?
I love how that translates to an island level.
What's island level versus mountain level? Large mountain level. What does that mean?
I will grant you that I really don't know what is more impressive to destroy, a mountain or an island.
Because I could see, all right, multi-city block level, large town level. Large town level sounds more powerful. Large mountain level plus sounds very impressive. And then island level. I mean, I don't know.
I suppose mountains exist on top of islands.
I guess.
So I guess the island is the more impressive feat.
I mean, it's apparently stronger than a Marowak holding a thick club. So there you go.
That at least grants us our island level.
It's massively hypersonic speed. Pretty strong. It's pretty hard strike. Durability, pretty good. Stamina's high. Range. Standard melee range, tens of kilometers with most attacks. Okie dokie. Intelligence average. Weaknesses: weak to ground, rock, water type moves. Weak to flying, ground, water, and psychic type attacks. All right, cool. All right, well, so this guy seems pretty powerful. All right.
Yeah.
Tell me about the giant cuck. What's going on with that?
So the giant cuck, or giant cuckoo, is a playable character from Hyrule Warriors. Unlockable. Basically, is just a giant chicken. So if you know anything about the Legend of Zelda series, it is part of it is that there are chickens who are in the village, and part of every game is if you hit the chickens enough with your sword, you will get attacked by a swarm of chickens, and then your only recourse is to enter a building. Otherwise, you will get pecked to death. Well, for this game, they took one and blew them up. This is like the horse-sized chicken versus the 100 chicken-sized horses. This is a dinosaur-sized chicken, I think.
Okay.
Tier 6C, which by my reckoning, that's nothing to sneeze at. Gender unknown. All right, we're not even asking. No one's getting up under there and asking questions. Age unknown. Superhuman physical characteristics. Can see and attack ghosts.
That's impressive.
That is impressive, right? Large size, can call a horde of cuckoos to overwhelm the enemy. So basically, that attack I just told you about, he can call all the normal sized chickens to his aid and to attack relentlessly. His attack potency is island level, so he can harm and kill many
cast
all
members.
Of the other cast members. So the other characters in this game. So it's your Link, Zelda, and all the heroes. Speed is supersonic plus relativistic reactions. I mean, he kept pace with King Dodongo, which that was
and
my
that
nickname in high
guy.
school.
I mean, he
King Dodongo is not somebody to fuck with.
no,
right? He fucks. Don't fuck with him.
Exactly.
Lifting strength class 100, which that's a high number. Must be good. Durability is island level, so he's at least as durable as an island. He can destroy one, and he's as durable as one. Very high stamina. And extended melee range. I mean, I guess as far as a chicken neck of his size can reach would be my guess. And literally no intelligence, probably. Animalistic intelligence. He's as smart as a chicken of his size would be. So Blaziken is like a humanoid fighting chicken with fire. And then we just got a real big chicken.
I think Giant Kuko wins this one. I
am kind of leaning toward Giant Chicken on this one, honestly. Like, I get, like, Blaziken can do a lot of neat things, right? And then in the anime, I think, like, he does some wacky stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there is precedent in the Pokemon universe, in the most recent games, for a creature to exceed its normal size and get it to the size of like what this chicken would be. And normal Pokemon can fight them and win. But I think if we look at the stats as they've been given to us here, I think the sheer durability of this chicken is too much for Blaziken to even, like, he has no known weaknesses, right?
Yeah. That's the big
known
thing.
Weaknesses for this chicken.
No, and Blaziken has many weaknesses, and one of which is like flying, ground, water. I feel like Giant Kuko is,
he's going to, like, if we're going to apply the rules of the Pokemon universe to his attacks, he's going to have a flying type attack.
Exactly.
A flying type attack. His peck.
Yeah.
Would qualify in the Pokemon universe as a flying type attack, which I think gives him, it's super effective.
Yeah. Not to mention he could summon a bunch of other, Kukos, and that's it. That's game over, man. Blaziken's
right, exactly. Then
screwed.
Then it's a bunch of flying type moves that he's getting hit with.
And he's just going to get obliterated. I think at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, does the giant, what we know about this giant cuckoo?
Does he look like a bitch? What?
You got to ask that question. And I think the answer is no, he doesn't.
He ain't look like a bitch.
No. So I think at the end of the day, we got to say giant cuckoo for the win. It's official.
It's
true.
official.
That was a great throwdown. Thank you, Noah Reno.
That was
excellent. Well done. Thank you very much. That was fun. That was a good one.
That was a lot
good.
of fun.
That was great.
It's like
I
I
learned
redeemed
something
myself.
new. I learned something new today. It was good. This is very, very good. So, Seth, let's talk about recommendations. What do you recommend this week for people?
So, I fully recommend Peacemaker on HBO. I think we are nearing the, I don't know if it's series, but it's at least season finale on that one. And look, James Gunn, I'm at the point, I'm almost Taika Waititi level with him, where like pretty much, oh, he made it cool, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I really like the story. I really love the way that he integrates music into his. I do love this whole hair metal theme that keeps getting like repeated in the within the story, but also just in the title, everything that they're doing there. So Peacemaker on HBO, and then Pokemon Legends Arceus is going to be my next one, which is I don't know if that's your next stop, Doug, as you start your amazing journey into the world of Pokemon, but I can't say I don't recommend it.
Okay. I will accept your recommendation. I'm going to echo Justin's recommendation from last weekend. The Legend of Vox Machina is my recommendation. I finished up episode 9, and man, I am feeling this series. I got to say, the first 3 episodes I thought were kind of, they were okay. But man, as we've really gotten into this arc, like each 3 episodes, I'm like, okay, I'm into this. I'm feeling it. I love what's happening. It's very cool. I'm very excited for the last 3 episodes to come out this week. I think it'll be really, really cool to see what's going on and how they end up wrapping this up. And I think I'm thrilled at the success of this show, because I love the credits. Every single person from Critical Role is listed as an executive producer. They are all in control of the art that they have created. It is 100% creator controlled, and I think that is fucking amazing. And if for anyone who's trying to make something, to be able to have that, their story is inspiring, it's exciting, and I would love to support them even more. I think it's really cool. So if you haven't checked it out yet, Legend of Vox Machina, first 9 episodes are out there. There's 12 total. It'll be wrapping up this Friday for this season. Check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you like fantasy, if you like some swearing, if you like some violence, it's very entertaining. So
I exclusively choose shows based on how much swearing is in them.
oh yeah, I love it because what you would expect to have like a very like cinematic moment of people inspiring. A character shows up and just the divine light shining, and they melt all these undead, and they just turn to everyone and they go, all right, let's go fuck some shit up. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's amazing. I love it.
What's up, fuck faces?
Hey, fuckers, let's go do it. It's great. It's really, really good. So check that out. It's on Amazon Prime. I think you'll like it. All right. Well, Seth, thank you so much for filling in for Justin while he's out. You've done a fantastic job,
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
It's been an absolute delight.
This is so much wonderful we had tonight. Much wonderful was had. Is there do you want anyone to follow you on any of your social medias? Anything you'd like? Just don't. Okay.
No, I literally just like my Twitter feed has become liking and reposting Mind Gapped and 2/8 items, and then I go and I read about basically like SEO stuff and like and repost that shit, which nobody wants that. Yeah, my Twitter account has become an extension of my work life.
There you go.
So yeah, don't follow me there.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
one of these days I'll join Twitch.
Yeah.
And stream Disco Elysium.
Oh shit, dude! I'd love to see you stream some shit. That'd be awesome.
But until then, yeah, don't bother.
That's why I don't promote my personal Twitter, because all it is liking and retweeting Mind Gap stuff. I do literally nothing else with it, so it's not worth it.
Ever since its creation, it has been a bot to like and retweet mind gaps in
Yeah,
between states.
I don't even know why I bother tagging myself. There's no one there that follows me. Honestly, I should probably just stop doing that. Like,
No,
what's the
because it
point?
helps me. Because if I didn't get the first time it got sent out, your retweet is when like, oh, cool.
I guess.
So-
It just seems like I'm cheating. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to like and retweet my own post. Ta-da. Whatever. Anyway.
Got to do it. Dirty as it is.
You can check out Mind Gap on all of our social medias at Mind Gap Podcast. And please be sure to check us out on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Mind Gap Podcast. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe. It means the world to us. We're slowly accruing. Well, we've got 157 subscribers. That's pretty fucking cool. We're getting those hours watched. We appreciate all your support. You're the best. Of course, check us out on patreon.com/MindGapPodcast and check out our merch, redbubble.com. Any support you can throw your way, we greatly appreciate it. And also, please be sure to check out Justin at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel, the fun way of spelling it,
That's the
on
fun
all
way.
of his social medias, as well as 2 East 8th Productions at 2east8th.com. Check out all of Justin and Drew's great work they're doing over there. The Life and Debt of a Liberal Arts Major is out. Please go check out that short film. It's great. It's wonderful. Seth helped write the story for it. He came up with the idea, helped.
Like 15, 20 years ago almost.
Look at that. It's amazing. It's so cool. You should check that out.
It is.
So,
It really is. I'm a big fan. Drew, you did a great job.
way to go, Drew. Way to go, Justin. Way to go, Noah. Way to go, Ashley Seehafer. And the other guy who I don't know that was in it. Way to go.
You know what? You want to follow a social account? Don't follow me. Follow JJ PogChamp.
JJ PogChamp for all
That's
of
a
your
worthwhile follow.
all of your gaming insights and news. That's the guy you want to follow. That guy has got it.
Yep.
He knows
that
what's
guy's
going
got
on.
it going on.
He's got it
He
going
knows what's
on. With that being said, once again, Seth, thank you so much for joining this week. You're the goddamn best.
Thank you for having me, Doug.
Of course. And with that, I'll say, Seth, thank you.
And Doug, thank you.
Chat, thank you. And listeners, thank you. And you all have a dandy fucking week. Do-do-do-do. No echo this week. Couldn't
loving
tell
it.
you why the echo came last week, but it did.
I was gonna say for just a second there, your voice glitched. I'm like, is it gonna come in right now?
If it's right now, that's fine. Because
It's fine,
basically,
right? We're off air.
everything's over. You know, everything's done. It doesn't matter. But thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for the chat. You guys are great as always.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Noah,
you.
very good job diving in at the last minute, getting the
Yes.
getting that getting that throwdown in.
Yeah. I think what he's trying to say is,
I love you.
and don't forget, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it looks,
Yeah.
all right?
No, thank you.
Putting
You
them
did great.
links in there.
Throw them links in there. God damn. Yeah. It wasn't that last minute. I mean, that's about as last minute as you get.
The throwdown music is played. The first letters have yet to be typed in the field.
I want it to be a surprise. That's cool. Well, I don't usually scroll
Was.
down there. That's how I work. I don't scroll down until it's time. So you were still good, but it's all good, man. It's all good. Still trying to figure out what I want to stream this Saturday. I just don't know. I've been playing some of that tower defense game, which has been fun. Rogue Tower. I don't know how exciting it'd be for anyone to watch that, but I don't know. We'll figure something out.
I was trying to think.
Yeah.
There was. I don't know. We can't. We've gone through all the classic streaming party games that we've got in our
We're also going to be missing Eric and Alpaca, so I want to make sure.
both
you know,
Eric and Alpaca.
Yeah. The Alpaca's right, dude. The music in that game is fucking awesome. I love it. It's so good.
Play Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, no Dragon Ball Z. That's another thing I'm not getting into ever. So eat shit if you're going to try and suggest that to me. To that I say
me, Daddy.
no. Yeah.
Trying to get you into One Piece.
No, I'm good. I'm fine.
I'm not even. I can't even get into that one yet.
I'm good. That's what, 800 episodes in?
1,000.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They're over the 1,000 mark.
Yeah. So, wait, but also we might not be missing them. I don't know, guys. You're traveling. I don't want to put you in that situation where you got to be like, you know, it's a long ride. It's supposed to be snowing.
Right?
You know?
Rushing back to. Oh wow, you guys gonna have snow?
Supposedly on Thursday, we're getting a snowstorm of 5 to 8 inches. So
Thursday, it's supposed to be 60 degrees here.
oh yeah, we're getting 50 degrees tomorrow and rain. So we'll be back by 9 p.m. Eastern. Are you kidding? All right. I mean, if you guys want, I mean, we could cook something up.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do Magic Part 2 if you guys want. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. So, welcome back, Wolf. I mean, listen, I could do something simple.
Live stream.
I could do something simple. I could do the Rogue Tower, and you guys could help me build because, you know, I can't get past level 31. I keep getting fucked over on that, so I could probably use some Eric insight or some you guys tell me how to build appropriately. I can get up to there, no problem. After that, though, it just goes to shit. So anyway, I'm just doing a diatribe, and you all don't give a shit about this. So, but anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Check us out on...
Yeah, I think I saw... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think I saw an old workmate of mine. I think that Ronnie D.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was that him?
Ronnie D was he's a guy I used to work with. I haven't talked to that fucker in a long time. But
that was awesome.
He must have seen us on the socials and dropped by.
I appreciate that. He appreciated
the APA.
Yeah. He liked it. That was awesome. But yeah, so thank you all for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Thank you to Wolf, to Noah, Alpaca, Ronnie P, Zenny, Tint, Emilio, all you good Ezekiel, thank you all for hanging out. You're all the best. Appreciate you. And I'll see you on Saturday for the video game stream. Until then, keep those butts clean. Ta-ta.